Thank you for joining us. My name is Luis Martinez. I'm the program manager of internships here at the Metropolitan Council. Today with me, I have helping me out during this presentation, I have Bethany Scholes, talent acquisition specialist in our internship department. Bethany?
So I'm excited to meet you guys and hopefully you guys can learn some more info about us.
Awesome. Thank you, Bethany. So today, let's cover some quick agenda items that we're hoping to cover in today's info session. Pretty much we're gonna do a quick overview of the Met Council, just to learn a little bit more about the organization. We're gonna learn more about the types of internships that we have here available for you all. We'll talk to our panel members, which has current interns as well as former interns, and kind of sort of sharing their experience. Then we'll do a quick application process demo, just to give you some pointers, some advice, some things to keep in mind. And then towards the end of the info session, we'll do a quick Q&A session. Just as a couple housekeeping items, you might want to send your questions on the Q&A window of Teams event, and that should be, I believe, probably located on the top right. During that time, we'll eventually answer your questions during the Q&A session. And if you have any questions, after the info session, you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to our email at internships@metc.state.mn.us. All right. But before we move forward, I want to cover a few things in regards to live Teams Live. Pretty much one thing that I want to mention right away is that this session is being recorded. Um, if by any chance you have any technical difficulties, you can just exit the presentation or the event and eventually rejoin back. If by any chance, let's say you want to activate the caption or subtitles, on the bottom left, you will have multiple options that you can select to turn in the subtitles. I believe we do have several languages available in those areas. As a matter of fact, let me see. You can also fix the font size, and if by any chance you want to adjust your volume, I believe again the option will be on the bottom left. All right. Let's see. Again, like I mentioned, if by any chance you exit and rejoin and don't have either Chrome or Edge, if you can access either Chrome or Edge, definitely will be better for the Ed live Steam event. So who we are? So the Metropolitan Council is a regional policymaking body planning agency that provides essential services throughout the metropolitan area. So the Met Council it consists of 5 different divisions, pretty much community development, environmental services, metro transit, metropolitan transportation services, and regional administration. The Met Council is actually well known for Metro Transit division, so possibly some of you have used some of the buses, light rails, and some of the other services that Metro Transit offers. Pretty much Metro Transit is composed of our largest with, I believe, over 3,000 employees within that area. We provide ridership over, the millions on each year. So as a matter of fact, wanted to point out that we're currently hiring bus operators at this time, eventually, as we're planning out this upcoming next few months. The next division that I have is environmental services. So this division is actually we're not so well known for, but it's actually one of those services that you probably utilize, but you're not fully aware. So environmental services division deals with all of the wastewater treatment. So all the water that goes into a sewer will end up in one of our 9 metro plants for water treatment process. So pretty much the process takes, I want to say about 15 hours or so from the moment it goes in all the way to the time it gets released back into the Mississippi River. It's a very rigorous process. It takes a lot of talent to get this process going. And as a matter of fact, environmental services is one of the most well-known metro plans across the country for receiving multiple national awards of how well eventually that metro plan is run here in the Twin Cities. Then I have Metropolitan Transportation Services. And pretty much the Metropolitan Transportation Services is somewhat a complementary service to Metro Transit. We provide different services like Transit Dial a Ride, Metro Van Pool, as well as Metro Mobility. A lot of these services are actually door-to-door services for those individuals that are not able to utilize our public transportation. Um, Other things that Metropolitan Transportation Services does is that they partner with the Minnesota Department of Transportation. They eventually work with the Transportation Advisory Board as well on local governments regarding planning, programming, transportation, as well as aviation and airport highway planning. And then community development. Community development actually partners up with over 186 municipalities, so local units of government, on making sure that you're living in a very livable, sustainable area in the Twin Cities. So pretty much, we work with different regional park system that includes over 56 regional parks that we work on with your municipality. We also try to do our best to connect with different communities to make sure that they have all the sustainable resources as possible. Community development also is in charge in affordable housing for those that are not able to eventually afford rent. So we eventually provide the different affordable housing programs, as well as different developments that we do during that community. And then the last division, which is regional administration, it is the division that provides the backbone support for the rest of the divisions. That is where you'll find departments like human resources, communications, Office of Equal Opportunity, finance, accounting, procurement, and so on. So eventually, the organization is composed of over 4,200 employees across the Twin Cities, with two headquarters, one in downtown St. Paul and the other one in downtown Minneapolis. The Metropolitan Council is actually led by a total of 17-member policymaking board, which also includes our Met Council chair. So they're the ones that make a lot of the decision that happens in the Twin Cities area. So let's see. So we move on to the next portion. So the mission of the council is to help develop in cooperation with our local community a comprehensive regional planning framework focusing on transportation, wastewater, parks, aviation system that guide efficient growth in the metropolitan area. The council operates transit, wastewater services, and administer housing and other grant programs. So again, the mission of the Metropolitan Council is eventually to provide the services necessary for our community. We want to make sure that our community is thriving, that, during this point of growing, that we're doing the correct investments in our infrastructure to make sure that we can support the growth that we're having here in the Twin Cities. We want to make sure that all the resources that you will have available will still be available as we're planning into the future of the Twin Cities. If you want to find out more information about the Metropolitan Council, you're more than welcome to go into metrocouncil.org, as you see on the bottom of the presentation slide. You'll contain more information and details on what the Met Council offers to our community. That being said, let's jump into the information about internships. So the Met Council right now has currently posted over 54 posting, which equates to about 84 open vacancies. It ranges from finance to engineering to planning to anything that you can imagine. So with 84 positions, we are looking, for applicants all areas of college. So, associate's degrees, seeking degree programs, bachelor's degree, master's degrees. So, pretty much we'll go over one of the posting just to kind of sort of give you an idea of what to look for into the posting as you're making a decision to see if you want to apply for them. The internship program, we have three types of internship programs. We have our traditional internships that can go for a 12-week program during the summer, and some of these positions actually are extended for a full year. So pretty much it will go from May to May of next year. A lot of these positions are going to be on a full-time basis during the summer, and if by any chance your position is extended or is planned to be extended for the full year, will be on a part-time basis at about 10 to 20 hours a week. Depending on your availability and the work available for you, they might be able to offer you more hours during the school year. One of the programs that we're piloting this year is the Ability Program, and this program is actually a program that will open more inclusive candidates of people with disabilities. So we're welcoming all types of students to apply. We want to make sure that we can be as inclusive as possible into our internship program. So this program will have a programmatic piece, and eventually we'll have additional training to make sure that you have the full experience of an internship. Again, for those that have any type of disability. And then the Urban Scholars Program. This program is actually in partnership with the city of Minneapolis. This program was created about 10 years ago, and it was created due to some stats that were released back during that time. And it showed that the Twin Cities had one of the biggest disparities in the country of people of color in professional positions. So eventually the Urban Scholar Program was created. We have been partnered with the city of Minneapolis for about 9 years now, and that we have had a great success with this program. The cool part about this program, it is a 12-week long program during the summer, and it will have a leadership training piece that will go along with it during each week. So 36 hours will be spent on your internship opportunity, and then 4 hours out of that week will be doing a lot of training sessions, working with your cohorts, possibly doing some discussion, public speaking, so on and so forth. So pretty much out of all of our opportunities, again, we have about 84 open vacancies. All of the internship opportunities are paid at $18.50 an hour. So now that I share a little bit on the internship program, let's hear from our panel members, and let's hear about their experience and how they eventually landed here at the Metropolitan Council. So I'm going to introduce Magdi Ramani. If you want to jump in, and let me read you the first question that our intern sent us in advance. As a matter of fact, could you introduce yourself, Magdi? And 1 second here, having. All right.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Mahdi, and I started working with Metropolitan Council during summer of 2019, and going from there, I've been promoted to a full-time position as an application developer, and I've been responsible for building new applications for our business customers, where use our data that are stored in our databases and make data-driven decisions to help our community. And and really enjoy working here and love it. Yep. So yeah,
thank you,
really awesome place to work. So
awesome. Thank you. Then up next, I have Henry McCarthy.
Hey there, my name is Henry McCarthy. I am an environmental scientist with the Water Supply Planning Division of Environmental Services, and I do a decent amount of GIS, so Geographic Information Systems, making maps and things like that, as well as some data analysis and kind of design for communications materials and things of that sort.
Awesome, thank you. And then next I have Emma LaFrance.
Yeah, hi, I am Emma. I'm currently an intern here at the council. I started this past summer and continued this year part-time throughout the school year. I'm with the Finance and Grants Division, so we support the Community Development and the Metropolitan Transportation Services divisions in their grant administration and financial analysis.
Thank you, Emma. So I want to say welcome to all of our panelists. Looks like we may have not been able to get Sudi on today's panel, but we'll eventually go over some of the questions that you're answering, and we'll have our panelists be able to answer the questions. So, Mike D, I'm gonna put you up next. So one of the questions that we have that we had from our sign up sheet is, what does a typical day look like for an intern?
Yeah, so yeah, when I was an intern, so my day would usually start with checking my calendar to see like what is the plan for the day and get prepared beforehand in the morning, early morning. And next up, I would check my emails and see if there is like any outstanding emails from the previous day, and also maybe for that day, and responding to the emails according to the priorities that they had. And also like maybe in the emails probably there are like some need of like help in some area. I would respond to that, and further after that I would usually meet with my mentor, who she was working in the same team with me and was kind of responsible for me to be able to get around and know things. And I would update her on the status of the project that I was working on, and also if I had questions, resolving the questions. And after that, I would go back to my computer and work on the project that I was working on at the time. And usually after that, usually there were like meetings, say 1 or 2 is typical every day. So in the meetings, there are like stakeholders, customers, different people that you are working with. And in the meetings, usually we talk about updates on the project, requirements or questions, and all sort of questions that are related to that project. And and after the meetings are done, usually we would meet, or if I had to meet with other colleagues or co-workers, it was pretty flexible. Everybody was happy to answer my questions, and everybody really like the interns, and they want to help you to grow and be a successful professional. And there is a lot of opportunities to network and meet with people who are professionals in your field. So that's the typical day that was looking like. Obviously, like there is time for lunch, so you can have lunch 30 minutes to 1 hour. So yeah, that's pretty much a typical day look like. Obviously, like it's gonna be different day to day, but yeah, that was a typical day. So
Thank you, Mike D, for sharing. Up next, I have Henry. How did these internships help you launch you into your career post-college?
Yeah, the internship that I did at the Met Council certainly had a big impact on kind of my post-college career. So I graduated college in 2019 and came on as an intern for that summer, and then was able to extend my internship to be a year. And my internship was in the water supply planning group, which is where I work now. So I got a lot of great on-the-job experience, just learning about kind of the technical work that's done at the council, and more specifically in the group that I work in. And beyond kind of that sort of specific knowledge of the region's water supply system, just working in the kind of Met Council environment was great for coming in for interviews and kind of being able to quickly like fall into conversation and kind of understand what the work here is like. So yeah, I'd say a mix of both kind of learning on the job about specifics that maybe I didn't know as much about, and then also just getting used to coworkers and kind of the work that is done both internally and with like external stakeholders was certainly important for launching my career post college. So yeah, I would say the council internship goes a long way for sure.
Thank you, Henry. And then I want to say that we have a last minute entry into our panelist. So welcome, Bethany. See if you can help us answer us, since you were a former intern with the Metropolitan Council. So the question that I have from the group is, what are the hours and weekly expectations?
Sure. So as an intern, you will work 40 hours during the summer. If if your position does require you to work part-time during the school year, kind of ranges for whatever works best with your schedule and what the expectations are for the department, which can vary based on the position. But basically, you are expected to put in your 40 hours, complete your work, within a timely basis, check in with your manager. I would say managers are flexible and understanding, during the school year, maybe if it's finals week and you have, big projects going on, they are able to be flexible and kind of adapt to the things that you have going on for school. Yeah.
Looks like I've been muted, sorry. How would you describe, Emma, the organization's culture?
Yeah, thanks. I would describe the culture as very strong and very goal-oriented around, everyone just has common goals of working towards the council's goals and each person's individual values. So it seems really easy to rally together around those. In addition, there's a really good work-life balance at the council. People have a lot going on the weekends and are taking fun trips and always like cooking really cool stuff. And also people are just really willing to help. When I started on, I didn't really know anything about the council and people really helped me out. And then my supervisor recently went out on paternity leave, and when he was gone, another employee stepped up and scheduled weekly meetings with me and kind of took over his responsibilities and kind of found some more projects for me to do.
Awesome. Thank you, Emma. And then I have Maggie next again. So next question that I have is, are interns provided training or additional opportunities to learn new skills?
Yes, the simple answer, yes. And there is a lot of opportunities for interns to learn and grow in the fields that they're in. And I would say every day for me, it was like a learning day, and I would, meet with different people and learn new things. Either it can be communication, technical, and wide variety of subjects. And at the beginning, I went through, like at the beginning when I started, I went through like 2 weeks of intensive training where I was given access to a Learn Center where there is like a lot of courses ranging from soft skills and also technical skills. And there I learned a lot of different languages and tools where I can use in my projects. So there is, and also I want to mention that in all the employees, including interns, they will be given access to this Learn Center or online Learn Center where you can learn as much as you want, even in your free time after work. You have access to this, and you will be able to learn a lot there. And as my co-workers mentioned too, and also I mentioned that there is everybody's pretty friendly and they want you to succeed in your work, so and even career. So everybody try to help you and teach you something new every day. So yeah, so and also like there are projects that are specifically built or designed that you can work on and as an entry level, and those projects definitely will train you for the real job or full-time positions and bigger projects. So yeah, definitely there's a ton of opportunities for you to learn and grow. So
thank you, Magdi. So next question, Henry. What kind of hands-on experience do interns get there? They Sorry. What kind of hands-on experience do interns get in their internship?
They get a lot of great hands-on experience for sure. I think one thing that I really enjoyed about the intern program is that it was structured to not only place you in a group at the council and learn about that group, but you also have the opportunity to go on tours of different facilities, different projects around the council. So whether your internship has you going and doing sampling or has you working in an office, you'll kind of get a chance to be able to see some of those things that maybe you wouldn't be doing on a day-to-day basis. I know in my own experience as an intern in the environmental services division, there were some other opportunities within that to go out with staff members and see the work that they do in the field, as well as get to go to like the Metro wastewater treatment plant, which was a great learning experience. And then just being present in the office with your coworkers, whether that's like going to a meeting at the office or meeting with external folks, certainly those experiences are pretty meaningful, and you really feel like you're contributing to the work and not just like being assigned busy work. So the project that you're doing, you sort of see where it goes and see the real life applications of it, which is great. And then, yeah, being able to meet up with staff members and just do kind of informational interviews. Everyone that I worked with were all very welcoming and, excited to share the work that they were doing. So I think that was a great way to get some hands-on experience beyond, just what you might be doing on an average day.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Henry. And then up next, I have Bethany. Do interns get the opportunity to work on year-long projects?
Absolutely. Interns are in projects are long-term for the whole entire year. There's a few short-term projects. You'll be given a whole variety of different projects to work on. You might just be a committee member in some projects, and you might be the project lead for some projects. So you really get a hands-on experience, and you get to play different roles within the projects. And all of them are projects that the department will be working on, whether you're there or not. So it's nice to have the opportunity to work on something that is going to be used, for the department or for the division or for the whole company as a big project altogether. So really making a difference and kind of adding your special touch on each project is pretty cool.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Bethany. And Emma, we have our next question is why did you choose to be an intern at the Metropolitan Council?
Yeah, well, I think what Bethany was just saying was really big for me, that it seemed like the interns were really working on things that mattered and that were important and not just like stapling papers together. And another big factor was the common mission that I was talking about earlier. It feels like everyone really is valued and really wants to do their best in order to make the Twin Cities a more equitable region. Also, for me, another factor was the wage. It's one of the best I've seen in the Twin Cities in the community or government sector. Although money isn't the most important thing in the world, it's important. And the reason I chose to extend my internship and continue throughout this school year is that I really liked my department, and it's just a really dynamic, fun group, and they're all working really hard, and I wanted to get to work with them for longer.
Awesome. Thank you, Emma. And Bethany, if you don't mind me bringing you up again, do we have any additional questions this time from our audience?
Yes. Can you talk about the eligibility for international students?
Definitely. So pretty much, well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for, all the panels. Oh, and looks like it crashed. There we go. I want to say thank you so much to all our panel members for answering the awesome questions that you all sent in advance. Maybe there might be another questions that one of you will be able to answer here shortly. But eligibility for international students, as long as you have all the correct paperwork through your school program, and eventually you are eligible to work in the United States, then yes, you can apply through the Metropolitan Council's internship program. We have done this in the past. So again, if by any chance you can get all your programming paperwork done prior to the upcoming summer, yeah, I will want to say that yes, you can eventually go through the hiring process. So if you're still doubtful right now to see if you want to apply, and you know that you have to go through this process, it'll be better for you to apply now if you're not able to meet the paperwork or the deadline to be able to get out the permission to work, you know, then it's going to be, it is what it is. But if everything goes well and aligns and you get the offer, then eventually everything ends up working out. So thank you, Bethany. Any other questions, Bethany?
Yes, I have one. How rigid is the May 31st start date? Can I still apply even if I can't start until a week and a half later due to my college end date?
Great question, and it would all depend on the hiring manager. Some hiring managers have provided some flexibility of early start, late start, but again, it would all depend on the hiring manager. So my suggestion is if you as a candidate made it into the interview stage, that will be probably one of the things that you should mention right away.
And then I do have one more question. How important is the year in college? How important is your year in college? And have you hired first-year college students in the past?
So technically there isn't necessarily any importance, and yes, we have hired first year. And I want to share a quick story of one of our candidates that got hired as a first year into our internship program, and he did so well that every single year he went through a competitive process and got 4 different internships during his 4 years with us. Now he obtained a very nice developed resume between different skills from finance, accounting, and all the fun stuff that goes along with his degree. So he definitely built on his resume. So the answer to that is a yes, you can apply as a first year student.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any last minute questions that may have come in?
That is all. I don't have any. And I'll just remind everyone, if you do have a question, you're welcome to type it into the Q&A chat.
Awesome. And again, want to give a shout out to our panelists one more time. Thank you so much for your time, be able to share your story, be able to share your experiences. So again, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, so the next step of the presentation is we're going to talk about some of the important key pieces about the application process here. And, keeping in mind the deadline to apply is going to be February 28th. Make sure you take some time to fill out your applications. We have a long weekend coming, this weekend. So, if you want to take a few minutes to fill out some of those applications, I will definitely recommend. One of the things in regards to the timeline for the recruitment process is that we definitely take our time to review our applications. So our HR team, eventually they review a lot of the applications, and eventually the hiring manager takes their staff at reviewing all the applications they have received. Excuse me. So pretty much you'll probably hear from us around the end of March, possibly beginning of April, to set up interview if you're moving forward in the process. All the internships are going to begin on May 31st, unless there's any specific caveat there. Depending if you have had an arrangement with your hiring manager. And more than likely, offers will be made around the end of April, beginning of May. So that's going to be around the timeline of what the process for the internship program is going to be. That being said, I am going to give a quick demo of our site. So let me jump in here. So when you type in metrocouncil.org, it will land you on this awesome site, which previously pointed out that you can find more information about all the different services that the Metropolitan Council offers to our community. But to be able to be part of helping our community, we can go into the job section on the top right. Once you hit here, you're going to click on the internship tab. And in here, you're going to find more awesome information about the internship program. We have additional testimonials as well if you're interested in watching our video. Here are the 3 programs that I mentioned. Each of these will have a little bit of information about each program. So if you want to take your time to dive in those during the time, I definitely recommend. But when you're ready to apply for a position, we're going to click on the Apply Now arrow, and it will redirect us to the application tracking system. So pretty much again, like I mentioned, we have about 54 job postings. That equates to about 84 vacancies. Some of these positions will have multiple vacancies, as you see here. And, my recommendation eventually is to take a look at a lot of these opportunities. We have awesome opportunities all over the Twin Cities. One of the highlights that I want to do is the Ability Program. So again, like I mentioned before, the Ability Program, it's a program that's designed for students with disabilities. We want to make sure that we can provide that extra inclusivity to our community, mostly for those that may have a disability. So again, you can check out our posting, some of the information about the types of jobs, as well as some of the requirements. If you want to see more detail about each of the placements that we have available, you can individually click on each and one of them, or you can click on the full list and it will open a new tab that will take you into more information about the Ability Program, deadlines, so on and so forth. Also, it contains the list of positions. So I'm going to click on the Occupational Health Intern. So if I click there, it will redirect you to the area that contains all of that information, more details about that internship opportunity. And all of these positions will have the list of areas of study the hiring manager will be looking for. So in this case, for the Onc Health internship, HR, medical coursework, or informational services will be very applicable into this internship opportunity. I'm going to select another one up here. Let's say the Metro Mobility Customer Service, looking at someone with a business admin, public transportation, disability studies, or anything on the customer service area. So again, you can dive in, kind of sort of read what a lot of these internships are going to be doing during the summer. And again, you can apply up to 3 of these. So just to kind of give you a little more details as to how that looks. So once you create an account through governmentjobs.com, and you start filling out your personal information, your application, pretty much any work history, so on and so forth, you will reach what we call the supplemental questions, and these are going to be very key to the review of your application. So the Ability Program, since it's a placement-based program, it's going to contain some extra questions. But one of the things that we point out right away, and this is eventually an advice that I would like to provide to you, is that avoid on answering any of the questions by just clicking see in resume. One of the things the hiring managers wants to see is to see your interest in the internship program. We want to make sure that we can provide someone that is interested, that is excited to take on this opportunity and challenge, and they don't necessarily want to see if someone has a lot of experience. Eventually, the internship program is designed for us to provide you with the experience that you need to catapult your career into the future. So as you are following the questions on question number 4 and the Ability Program, you'll be able to select up to 3 positions that you want to be considered for. And on 5, you can eventually rank them. The following questions, which will be 6 through 10, are going to be on an essay format. It will require a minimum of 150 words. My recommendation will be to write this essay questions on a Word document and then just copy and paste them once you're ready to fill them out. And then question number 11 just tells you to answer the question and specifically correlating to the positions that you have selected, to the top 3. So for example, if you selected, excuse me, research communications, there will be 3 questions about research and communications. These questions are going to be very important, correlating to the positions you want to be considered for, because these are pretty much the managers asking the questions to you directly. So very important to take your time, making sure that you feel comfortable with your answer, and eventually, whenever you're ready to submit, you can submit the application. So that's how the program, the ability program and the Urban Scholars posting are designed. But if you're looking to apply into one of our individual positions, so I'm gonna scroll down here, they're gonna look a little bit different. So I'm gonna click, let's see, let's go to page 2. Let's find your compliance program. Let's click on this one, compliance and program evaluation. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Let's see. Let's check this one out. Aha. So the rest of the internship opportunities are going to contain just detailed information about that internship. So for example, this internship is all about construction, rail, and safety. So it gives you a little description of what this position is going to be doing in the transit systems development department. Eventually gives you kind of sort of the exposures you're going to have. A key thing as you're looking into each of these internships is that we have typed in both the length of the internship. This one in particular is going to be a full-time during the summer and a part-time during the school year, with a flexible 10 to 20 hours a week during the school year. And like I mentioned before, if time allows and projects are, if your time is needed and you are able to provide extra hours, more than likely hiring manager will be able to provide you extra hours beyond the 20 hours at that point. I want to mention, I almost forgot, a lot of these positions are going to be in between full remote and hybrid. There will be some positions that will be required for you to be on site just because of the nature of the position. But definitely it will be on a case-by-case scenario, meaning that, once you get an offer, eventually that conversation with the hiring manager will happen as to, if you're going to be working on the offers, maybe 20% and then 80% remote, or 50-50, or it all depends. But there will be some flexibility in regards to how many hours you can work on site and on remote as well. So as you continue down the application, again, you're going to find more information. You're going to find examples of the duties that this position will be doing. Minimum qualification, which again, we're looking for someone that's currently enrolled in an associate, bachelor's, or master's program, or recently graduated within the last 12 months of posting. Here are some of the desired qualifications that they are looking for this position. Again, you don't have to have them. This is just a plus. And the types of degree that the manager is looking for. So again, if by any chance you see a title that sounds interesting, but you want to see if your degree kind of sort of overlaps or sounds close enough, I would strongly suggest to click on the position and scroll all the way to the degree area and check out if your degree is closely related into this opportunity. So, and again, just mentioning the supplemental questions, very important. Managers will base a lot of their decision based on the questions that you see here. I want to say that your application and resume is going to be about 10% of their reviewing process, and about 90% of their decision will be based on the supplemental questions. So make sure you take your time. Make sure to, if you want to type in the questions on a Word document and then just copy and paste before you submit, you can definitely do that. But yeah, just make sure that you can project your interest, project any kind of job experience. And when we mean job experience, it could be anything activity related, organizational, community projects, school work, volunteer work, so on and so forth. So again, very important to keep that in mind. So I want to say that that is all I have in regards to the application demo here. Again, mentioning deadline February 28th. So let me jump back into the presentation here.
I do have a quick question,
Yes.
and that is, how many internship positions can you apply for?
That's an excellent question. Unlimited. As a matter of fact, let me go back to that site and point something out here quick. Hopefully it will make your lives easy. You can apply as to many internship opportunities as you want. As a matter of fact, I want to point out that questions 1 through 7 in every single individual posting is going to be the same questions. We have designed the questions to be that way because we want you to make sure that you feel free to apply as many as you want, and you can pretty much just copy and paste, make some tweaks to make sure that your answers correlate to the position that you're applying, and again, making it easier for you to fill out an application. The last 3 questions are usually be correlated to the position in specific. So this is, again, pretty much the hiring managers asking you the question directly. So, but yeah, the answer is there's no limit. You can apply as to many opportunities as you want.
Thank you. That's all.
Awesome. Alrighty, so any final questions before we wrap it up, Bethany?
Yep, it looks like we just got one.
Awesome.
If there are questions specific to each internship, is a cover letter needed or necessary?
That's a great question, and definitely not needed, but advised. So if by any chance, let's say that you don't have one ready, or if you want to put one together, that's like a quick paragraph long, you're more than welcome to do so. But again, based on the system of how we do things at the Metropolitan Council and making sure that our competitive process is transparent, is equitable, we eventually use the supplemental questions as our key point to make the decisions on moving candidates forward. So in short, you don't need it, but definitely if you would like to add one, it's optional. I want to say thank you so much for taking your time to jump into the info session. We're really happy that you had the opportunity to join in and listen to us live. Eventually, if you have any additional questions, you're more than welcome to send us to our internships at metc.state.mn.us. We'll eventually be looking forward into those emails. Otherwise, again, I hope to see your application and wish you the best of luck on the hiring process. So again, thank you so much for your time. Hope you have a great day.